Hey guys, my name is Brandon and welcome to my channel. My job is to help you get out there, explore, and see the world. And in this video, we're going to talk about Croatia. A few places in Croatia: Amis, Markaska, Hvar, and Split. Been to a few other places throughout Croatia, so stand by on those videos. They're definitely coming down the road, but I will make them. Please feel free to leave me any questions that you have about these places, as well as give me a like and subscribe for more information on different videos that I'm going to be posting in the coming days. So the first place I want to talk about is Amis. So Amis is about a 30-minute bus ride from Split. And one thing I could tell you is if you have the opportunity to leave Split, do it because the views from out of Split are absolutely amazing. The beaches are better, and I just think the overall vibes I think are just better outside of Split. That's up to you to decide. But yeah, it's about a 30-minute bus ride out of Split. Very cheap ticket. I think it only cost me like €5 to get or something like that. And get some absolutely stunning views. So this picture was taken at the Old Fortress. And none of my photos are ever photoshopped, by the way. This is exactly what you're getting. So this was taken from the Old Fortress, like I was saying. And it's about an hour and a half walk from the town center down here. So there's a few trails you could take to get up here. It is pretty steep, so I definitely recommend some hiking shoes, and some good clothes. Definitely some sun cream on some days like this because you will definitely will get sunburnt. And bring some water because there's no water when you get to the top. So if you get to the top with no water, you're gonna have to climb right back down with no water, and that would not be a good thing. But a couple things I like about this shot is it shows you pretty much all of Amis, and this is really it right here. This main harbor bit down here, and a little bit of the city. So this is pretty much all of Amis, and there's the beaches that you have in Amis. There's two of them. So you have this is the main beach right here, and it's a little bit more busy, more crowded, and you can kind of see in this photo. I mean, if you zoom in a little bit, you can definitely see that there's more people there. And unfortunately, in the second beach, you can't see because it's a little bit off to the left here. And it is, in my opinion, it's a lot better. The second beach, it's more secluded. Less people go there because it's a little out of the way, and that means there's less people in swimming around. So you're not going to bump into anyone, as well as there's less people on, taking up valuable beach space where you can lay down and get that nice tan. So next is a photo of the harbor area. So this is right about probably about a 5-10 minute walk from the harbor. I caught this photo during sunset. Fortunately, I missed the sun barely, but it was still nonetheless a beautiful sight to see, especially as the way the sun's hitting those mountains there. So definitely recommend checking that out. And last but not least, this is from the city center. So the city center is off to the right here. And what I did was I crossed the road and got up on this ledge. And really what you could do here is one, you have a few things. You have this harbor area right here where they do boat tours, and you could rent a boat and take it out onto the sea there. Or you could also do a kayaking tour. So there's a lot of canals and Amis that you could go and decide to do and kind of swim around and whatnot. Unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity to do that because I was only in Amis for one day. But you can, if you're there for a second day, definitely recommend it because you could probably do Amis in one day. Another thing to point out is this viewing point right here. So there's two main viewing points. There's that one that I showed you in the beginning of the video, as well as that second viewing point right here. And this takes about 40 minutes to probably walk up to, whereas my hike took about an hour and a half. So if you want to, you could climb up this one. I didn't do it because I figured I already got the higher one, so I didn't really need this one. But yeah, I'm sure you can still get some really good views of Amis from here. Unfortunately, it won't be as high as the other viewing point, but still worth a climb if you don't want to climb all the way up to the top to the old fortress. So next up is Markaska. And Markaska was about a 45-minute bus ride from Amis, so about an hour and a half from Split. And Markaska was interesting. I'd say you need at least 2 days in Markaska, depending on kind of what you're trying to get out of it. Any more than two is probably a little bit of overkill, but there's definitely more life here in Markaska. There's more things to do. There's more people around. There's more of a touristy vibe. especially during the night, to be honest with you. Harbor was quite busy. The beaches are still very clean, which is a big thing when I go to Croatia. I don't want to swim in a dirty beach. But yeah, it was still beautiful. Water was crystal clear. From this photo, it looks maybe a little blue greenish. That's just coming off from the mountain there. But yeah, water was amazing, very warm. And there was quite a bit to do here. So one of the things that we did was we actually hiked to this hidden beach from Markaska. It took about an hour. It probably would have taken maybe a little bit less, but man, my legs were killing me from hiking up that mountain in Amis the day before. But yeah, there took about an hour to get to this beach, and this is kind of a hidden beach here. So you could also take a boat from Markaska to here. We hiked it because there was some just absolutely stunning views along the way. But there's a boat that pulls up here, not this one specifically, but there is one that pulls up here and then takes you back out to Markaska from there. So that is another option that you can do. Less people. I mean, when I say there's probably only about 30 people on this beach, that's probably about all there was in comparison to Markaska's main beach, where I mean we had a fight for beach real estate there because it was just so busy. But nonetheless, you still have that atmosphere, that beach party vibe when you're in the center of Markaska. Whereas this, you had the more let's chill out, hang out, be by ourselves kind of vibe, which was nice. And be careful because some beaches in Croatia are nude beaches. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but just to make yourself aware that you can run into them, and it is perfectly fine to go nude if that's what you want to do at some beaches, not all of them. So yeah, so this was on the walk over to that beach. Just a nice sitting spot to sit, overlook the sea there, and took probably about 30 minutes or so to get to this spot. Next up is Hvar, and Hvar is probably my favorite place I've ever been to in Croatia. Now, I've been there probably about 20 times. It's one of my favorite countries. There's just so much to do. But this was one of my most beautiful places I've ever been to. This is climbing up to the one of the high peaks of Hvar, and I was able to get a nice overlook of all of the islands and beaches around this location. And one of the things that we did while we were there was we took a boat tour, and it was probably only about 40 euro, or the equivalent of 40 euro. And it took us to all of these islands, not only these islands, but islands way over here in the distance. And it was an all-day tour, and highly recommended. People were very professional, as well as you got to see so many parts of Croatia that you wouldn't be able to see if you just stayed on the island. Now, if you don't want to do the tour, there's still tons to do on the island, and highly recommend it. It's about a 45-minute boat ride from Split. So quick and easy. You could get the bus right from the port in Split, take it on over to Hvar. So, just continuing, this is taken from the island. This is an absolutely, I mean, this picture doesn't do it justice because it was so beautiful, the sunset that I was able to capture. And everybody had their phones up trying to get this picture, but this is what it looks, the closest I could get to what it looks like. But if I could say it's 10 times better in person, it really was. This was taken from the tour. Unfortunately, clouds were starting to come in, so it is kind of what it is. But some of the places we went to was a few of the blue caves. So you actually go inside of this cave here, and they'll let you swim around in it. And this is from inside the cave. And if you jump inside and you look down and you look towards the opening here, you'll see the most incredible blue that you've ever seen in your entire life. I remember when my girlfriend jumped in. I jumped in first, then she jumped in, and I said, "Hey, did you look near the cave entrance?" And she's like, "No." And I said, "All right, well, get down and open your eyes because you're giving goggles and stuff like that." I'm like, "All right, well, look towards the light." And she goes back under, doesn't look towards the light, and goes, "I don't see anything." And I go, "Get back under there and look towards the light." She gets down, looks towards the light. She pops her head back up, and she goes, "Oh my gosh." It's the most vibrant blue. I can't describe it. And it's probably about a good 100 feet deep inside of this cave. I mean, there's fish swimming around everywhere. I mean, large schools of fish too. And you could swim near them, try to capture them, and you're not going to get anywhere near those fish. One of the places we also went to was actually voted one of Europe's best hidden beaches in all of Europe. And unfortunately, we weren't able to stop because the clouds were coming in, and it was gonna and there was this we were trying to really beat out a storm. But still, from the picture that I was able to get, still looked like an absolutely stunning beach, and would highly recommend checking that out. And last but not least is good old Split. Now, I'll be quite honest with you, Split wasn't my favorite part of this trip or my favorite city in Croatia. Definitely a city still worth visiting, but it's very touristy, very busy. One thing I will say that's very positive about Split is they have a lot of nice architecture, from the palace to various cathedrals that you could do while you're there. I also highly recommend buying one of the passes from the tourist shop. Basically, it allows you to go to all of the sites. It's really cheap. I think it's only like 10 or 12 euro. Not much at all. It might even be less than that. But yeah, you get to go to 6 different spots. They take your ticket every time you go to one of those spots. So if you go to the palace, they'll stamp your ticket, and then you'll go to the next spot, etc. And I do recommend Split. One thing I will say is I don't recommend the beach. The beach I thought was very dirty, especially when I compare it to going to Amis or Markaska, and even Hvar. It wasn't that great, but if it's the only spot you're gonna go while you're there, definitely still check it out. However, I do recommend getting that 30-minute bus ride to Amis and swimming there, and just viewing the city from there. But like I said, just some nice views from Split overall. So here's a picture from the tower there that I took from the beach. And like I said, none of the photos are photoshopped, so you still are able to get some really nice photos from Split. And it is a city that you should check out, but I don't think it should be your main attraction if you go to Split. However, if you want a great nightlife, oh my gosh, I can't tell you enough how good it is for that, because clubs for days during the summertime, and you definitely won't get bored. But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for Split and for all of Croatia on this trip. But if you have any questions about any of my journeys, or if you think I should post a video on something else, please do let me know in the comments below. Also, feel free to give me a like and subscribe. And thanks for listening.